Welcome everybody to Pick and Roll. This is the NBA betting and discussion show on the Board YouTube channel and powered by the Hammer Betting Network. We're gonna get started with an official pick right away on today's show. Reward some people for coming in live. This one is moving quickly, so let's fire this one up right now for you guys and bring up the first official pick on today's show. And that is Mitchell Robinson over 17.5 points and rebounds. It is minus 110 at BetMGM. We'll verify in just a second here to ensure that this one is still available at this price. Is this one still up right now, Pips?
As I can see, it is. It's also minus 115 at Bet365. So I'll just check, quick check on the BetMGM. But I just checked like a minute ago, and it was available. So just a second.
Yeah. So this happened as the countdown clock was
Yeah,
going off.
it's available.
This just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, it is available minus 110 at BetMGM. I actually also noticed that it moved off of some places as we were going live there. So thankfully, this one is still good for you guys to grab at BetMGM. Of course, we'll have. I was just concerned that this one would move to BetMGM if we waited even a few minutes here. So if you're watching live, thankfully, this one you can go and grab over there. But shout out to people. Yes, shout out to people in here who were able to cash it or to get this one in. I'm seeing in the chat here. But this is Pick and Roll. We give out bets on this show. Pips goes through his free picks. We give them out on this show, and then we go through discussion topics. And what better way to start than with a play like this? So great stuff for the people who came through on the show nice and early. But before we go into the other official picks on the show, let's discuss the recap of yesterday's plays, as we always will. And unfortunately, it was not the best day on the show that we had, as I'm pulling up the BetStamp tracked record over here. It was an 0-2 day on the show. Had some difficulties with the Nuggets play. Sorry, I'm having some connection issues. I'm hoping I'm coming through okay, but I am struggling to share my screen at the moment. 1 second for that. Hopefully, I can pull it up in just 1 sec here. My audio coming through okay?
Yeah, your audio is working. Just the screen is a bit blurry. A screen is a bit blurry. So I don't know if you guys can hear me. I can start talking about Mitchell Robinson. Obviously, since he came back from the injury, he was injured before the All-Star break, and he came back playing after the All-Star break. 7 games after the All-Star break, cleared this in 6 out of 7. Only game he didn't go over this line was a very difficult matchup against the Miami Heat. So after the All-Star break, he has an average of 21.1 PRs, which is over the line by quite some margin. So I don't know. Oh, Jacob is back. So does the graphics work for you now? Can you just?
Yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. So can you just go to the Mitchell Robinson graph? Because I started talking about
Oh, yes. My
that bet.
apologies.
Yeah, no problems.
Sorry about that,
So
guys. Some connection issues for me. Okay, here we go.
So our bet, obviously, Mitchell Robinson over 17.5 points and rebounds, minus 110 at BetMGM, minus 20 on Caesars, and minus 115 at Bet365. So everyone can get this line. I'm pretty confident. So if you take a look at some graphics, I shared. So this is on the season when Mitchell Robinson is playing 22 or more minutes. He cleared this line in 68% of the games and has 19.3 average. And he's expected to play like 30 to 32 minutes tonight. So that's 10 minutes more than this. Also, you can show the basketball reference data I just spoke about. Uh,
Yeah, 1 sec. I'll pull that up.
yeah, no problems. And I think His double at plus almost plus 300 also has some value and merit to bet it. So if someone likes to bet on higher plus price, this is actually a great spot because we'll see live when we pull up the basketball reference. So this is I actually sent you in the chat
Oh,
something.
okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay,
yeah,
continue and I'll pull this up. Man,
yeah.
we are on a
So
roll today on the show.
yeah, so like since he came back from the All Star, 7 games, he had double in 5 out of the 7. So that's 5 out of the 5. So 5 out of the last 7, and like we can see, he cleared the PR lines in 6 out of 7 and had double in 5 out of the 7. And we are getting, I think you can find plus 300 for his double tonight, so that should work too. But I love the over 17.5 PRs. And also, they played the Kings once this season already, and he played against Sabonis, the same matchup as he has tonight. And he had 21 PRs in only 19 minutes of the playing time. So with 10 more minutes tonight, he should be able to get even more. Also, Kings are below average, both rebounding team and points to the centers team. So positive matchup, good minutes, good data, everything looks great for Mitchell Robinson tonight.
Okay, let's go to the other two plays that we have for you guys today. I'm having some connection issues, so just keep me posted on any line movement on these ones here. But the second official play, we're going once again against the Houston Rockets here, and that has been successful. But has also been successful is the Buddy Hield 3-pointer line, which we're going with on the second official play. Buddy Hield over 2.5 threes. This time we're pairing Buddy Hield with Tyrese Halliburton on his points line, going for 18 plus points for Halliburton. This is minus 120 at BetMGM. And the third play as well, just so we make sure this one is out. Jazz at the Magic. We have Larry Markkinen, 25 plus points. That is his milestone line. And also Franz Wagner, 15 plus point. That is also his milestone line. Important to note that when it comes to these milestone lines, they're going to be listed in separate sections, as always, to the normal player prop lines. But let's get Pips into the second official play. We've done this one a lot, but take us away on why you like this one again today.
So obviously, I always spoke that betting assists and threes against the Rockets, but this time I'm going with points in threes. But he'll be probably one of the top 5 shooters in the league, clearing this line on such a huge rate this season that he gets the 25. I mean, every time, but whenever he gets 25 more minutes, he cleared this line like unbelievable rate. So over 80%, and now getting the team that allows the most threes, the worst defense. He scores a lot of threes through transition. They are terrible in transition defense. So I won't be surprised like if he'll score like 5, 6, 7 threes tonight. But we are going with this one because I couldn't decide between. I wanted to bet it straight, but couldn't decide between Buddy Hield threes and Buddy Hield points. So I'll just break it through. So sometimes I know people have tough choices to decide, but if you take a look at throughout the season, Buddy Hield has the same amount of clearances on his over 3.5 threes and over 16.5 points. And even if you compare to the like games where he gone over the threes but didn't go over the points, that's 8 times. And the time that he goes over the points and didn't go over the threes, it's also the 8 times. So like very difficult spot to decide, but he's positive, EV positive for both points and threes. So I decided to pair it with Halliburton. So I decided to go with Halliburton. So this one moved.
Sorry, this one's moved now. This one is minus 135 now, so it's way off the number. So maybe we can go to the next one and try to find a different play in this game, or what do you want to do here?
I need to think about this one.
Yeah, no problem here.
Yeah, so like this one was minus 125 at DraftKings, but and then I went to check the BetMGM and it had it at minus 120.
Mhm.
So I'll just look. So I don't know.
Yep. You can take your time. We could look for an adjustment here. Yeah, DK also moved on this one. I checked that one as well, just to
Yeah,
see
I
if
know that
we could
that
find
one
it.
was even earlier. I'll just. Hmm.
And just so you guys are aware, just so we have the next play available for you guys. If you want to tail this one before we get into the full breakdown of this one, the Jazz and the Magic game, Larry Markin 25 plus and Franz Wagner 15 plus, minus 115 at DraftKings. And according to one of the viewers here, HDC is actually minus 110 on FanDuel. So opportunity to get this one at a superior price as well available there. So that one you can go grab right now. But with a good matchup here, Buddy Hield, Halliburton against the Rockets. Pips is just going through to find a different play to get involved with to find, because I mean the Halliburton Hield one is something that has been so consistent this season, especially Buddy Hield. He's 6 for 6 over 2.5 threes when Pips plays it on this show. But I guess a little bit of catching on to that with the line moving so quick. So technical difficulties, line difficulties. Hopefully we can find this one, find
And
something else this one.
we can just add Halliburton over to score two or more threes.
Halliburton, two or
I,
more
I
threes
don't think
as
he's
well.
getting to 18 points without scoring two threes. So I think that's a good bet to make
Sure.
in this
So
one.
adding the Halliburton threes, 2+ puts us at minus 105. Is that what you want to
Yeah,
make official here? All right.
yeah.
So we'll adjust this one. We'll go to a 3-legger, and I'll just update the graphic here. So it'll be Buddy Hield over 2.5 threes, or 3+ threes paired with Halliburton, 18 plus points, and 2+ threes. And that will be minus 105 at
So
BetMGM, currently available. And that way we can ensure we get a solid price that we're all comfortable with betting.
I'll
And
just explain why I'm doing this. So this difference between minus 135 and 105 is 30 cents, and that's I think 6.5% in the implied probability. So I don't think there is a bigger percent like I think it's less than 6.5% that Halliburton scored 18 plus points without two threes. So I think it's like 4 to 5%, maybe like one of 20 games that he will score over the 18 points without scoring two threes. So especially against the Rockets that allow so many threes. So I'll just take this minus 105.
yeah, obviously it's we're taking a little bit of an extra risk adding in the 2+ threes here, but like you said, it would be quite strange for Halliburton not to hit 2 threes and get to 18 points in this game.
Yeah.
So
Especially
that makes
against the team that's like the only thing that they are terrible at is 3 pointers. So like I think that's so Halliburton 17 and a half over points and less than two threes is like I would say less than 5% chance. So
so
I think we are good here.
we'll take that risk here and we'll move into the third play and we'll bring up the Jazz and Magic play. This one available for you guys to get. And according to one of our viewers, I can't verify this, but it's a better price at FanDuel. But here is the third official play. Markkinen and Wagner, take us away on this one.
So it's betting on Lauri Markkanen. I there are some questionable players for this game. Clarkson is questionable. Kessler is questionable. So we could have a game where both of these players are out. But I even that will be only a bonus for this bet as I like this for even if they are playing. So I just checked the FanDuel. It's minus 110. So we can just if make it that as FanDuel minus 110.
Sure.
And Franz Wagner completely different play. He had some struggles before the All-Star break. Had some weird games. He had like 13 points, 9 points, 14 points, 10, 10, 9. Like some very low usage games where like he had a stretch where like in 10 games he had 6 games with under less than 10 field goal attempts. But then after the All-Star break, he came in playing way better, scoring way better, scored over 20 points in 4 of the 7 games and cleared this line in 5. The game against the Hornets, he played only 13 minutes and still scored 9 points. So I think this is a perfect matchup for Franz Wagner, as he's playing a lot as a ball handler, as the like playing through pick and rolls and everything. And with his brother playing stretch 5, he could just open up some space for him to drive. He is scoring a lot from the paint, but not at the rim. So he has some like float shot, like 4 feet from the rim, which is great against drop coverage. They played earlier this season and in a game where Wendell Carter was playing and having quite some good usage. He scored 26 points. So I'm pretty confident in him scoring 15 plus tonight. And the second part of this bet is Lauri Markkanen. Since the trade, last like 7 to 8 games, he scored 29 against the Knicks, 29 against the Pacers, 43 against the Oklahoma City Thunders, 27 and 28 against the Spurs. Then huge blowout game against the Thunders where he scored only 20 points but played less than 30 minutes. And then last game scored 33 against the Mavericks. So in six games that weren't a blowout, he scored 27 or more points. And earlier this season, when they played the Magic, he scored 28, and that's pretty like not, his usage is now even higher than it was at that time. And if Clarkson is out, he should be just like shot so many times and score a lot of points. And also, he's playing wing positions. That was the problem for Magic throughout the entire season, as they allow the second most points to opposing small forwards, and they are also not allowing above average to opposing power forwards. So it should be like a great spot for for Lauri Markkanen.
All right. So with some trouble, we got through the official picks, had some connection issues, had some line movement issues. Maybe some people questioning us a little bit here, but we always want to make sure we're giving out fair prices for everybody who can actually tail the bets. We want to do our job properly, and we
It's
value.
it's actually pretty crazy that we like I send you like picks like 3 to 4 minutes before we start the show, and in those 3 to 4 minutes, like every time we have like one play at least moved. So like it's crazy, like how quick the movement is going up, and I don't know if people realize like our record is like I send the picks like at the exact same time almost every day. So I'm not getting the best value. Like you could like bet 2 hours earlier and get so many better spots than we have when I need to choose the picks for the show. So like having like betting every day at the same time, like not getting value after the show, not getting value before the show, but only at the exact same times make I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it's a bit more difficult to have a good record only betting at the exact same time every day.
So just to let you guys, I guess, insight into what the process is in starting, because I'm you don't you may not know this, I'm always talking to the chat before we go live at around 11:20. As I'm waiting for the picks, I talk to the people in the chat with like just by typing in the chat with them. So what happens is when I'm just waiting for Pips to send in the plays. As soon as he sends them in, I prep the graphics and everything, which takes like 3 minutes, and then we go live. So it's like a very short window in between getting the picks and giving them out on the show. And we used to do it like we would give the picks one by one throughout the show. Now we do them all right away because of things like this and things moving so quickly.
and
So
still and still have some issues. Like
yes, we
yeah,
still
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how people. So I like I they probably I can discuss this, but I don't know how people write articles anymore on props. Like you need to write, pick your spot, write it down, send to editor to check and to publish. It's a process that probably like at least an hour, probably like hour and a half or two. Like there is no prop that's EV plus that can survive for 2 hours without moving. Like
I'd say
so,
like
yeah,
from my betting experience, like if I get like a positive EV position, it's probably gone in like 10 minutes.
yeah,
It's probably like 80% of the time it's gone within 10 minutes. So yeah, I agree. I would say it's easy to write articles. It's very difficult to be a profitable person who writes articles. It's very difficult to be a transparent when it comes to those articles because likely
yeah.
the line is gone by the time it's out.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing I noticed also. Like people will write the articles and publish the pics, and I'll just like go in 30 seconds after they post, and I see like the line that was gone at least an hour
Right.
before they
Right.
published. I'm like, okay, like I get it. Like I know it was available at the time when you started writing your article, but that does no one a service when people that want to tell see that like I probably our viewers know that, but getting something at like that's the thing in issue that I have with community with betting community because people need to get a bit more education and we as like content creators need to teach them a bit more about this. So I had so many times I have posted a play like over 16 and a half minus 110, let's say, and people be asking me like about an hour later it's 18 and a half. Is this still good? Like
No.
of course it's not still good. Like or 17 and a half. Is this still good? No, it's not. How if you're confident on 16 and a half, only 1 point higher, you are not? Like it's so easy to explain. Like I'll just say like our record on the show is like I'll say like 57%. Let's say it's 57%. That's good for like I like it's like have 5% ROI, let's say. But that's for example. So if we bet something at 16.5 and it moved to 17.5 and you lose by 1 point only once in 20 games, that's 5%. So you are not winning at 57% anymore. You are winning
Exactly.
at 52% now, and you are losing money. And I don't know how people like it requires some math and some probability, but like, and I'll don't talk to talk about it against anyone, but there was some rule like on in the community that if it moved like 5%, it's good. Like it's not good. Like
So somebody brings up a good point here. So the other day, Buddy Hield lands on exactly 15 on our over 14 and a half. Now, that's very rare, but it happens enough that so I just checked 56.5% win record this season on the show. If those little rare things happen enough that if you factor in like a 3% difference to the record, that's the difference between maybe a profitable record and a losing record. So
so,
that's why they matter.
it's easy. Like count how many hooks we had. Like
7,
yeah, how many picks we have? 100.
184.
Yeah. So let's like seven. How many percent is that? Like
Uh, let's see.
that's like 5%, close to five.
4%.
So yeah, if we win at 4 less percent, we are losing money. So if we are winning at 52.5%, we are losing money. So yeah, that's
It's significant. It's more
yeah.
significant than
It's
you would
not
think.
rare
That's
as
the point.
people think. It's not as rare as people think. Like it's not, especially on some like okay, it's more rare at lines like 28, 27, 20, like huge line. But if you have a line that's like 11 point half and it moves to 12 point half, like that's crazy. And also one of the worst things you can do, like it's if it's a 3 point shooter heavy, like if it's a player that's 3 point shooting, like that's like specialty 3 point shooter. Difference between 8.5 and 9.5 is like difference between scoring two threes and three threes, and that's That's like 25% difference. And this is, but it's only 1 point. Yeah, that's at least 20% difference for a 3 point shooter. Like that's crazy difference. And some people don't understand that, and I want to just bring it up a bit more and explain to our viewers and to everyone that's betting in this community, like the difference between and so also there are some people that, so I won't go down deep down into it, but some guys have like unbelievable records on in our community betting on the Twitter, but they are like some random locals bookie has some line and they post it on Twitter that no one can get it early, and of course they have a winning record. That's getting like, so when we bet, if you get, like you spoke about it quite some time, that if you get like, you have like 23 and a half at BetMGM, and DraftKings and FanDuel have 24 and a half minus 120, you are printing money if you are betting over 23 and a half on BetMGM, for example. And some people are doing it constantly, like on some random local bookies and posting it, and of course they are going to win. Like it's almost impossible to lose by doing that. Line shopping is crazy. Like you can win only by line shopping. Like if you have so many outs.
This is a good point here. You're talking about like a guy who's shooting a lot of threes. Like if you're getting, let's say, like just like PJ Tucker, let's say, and let's say his points are 5.5, or
Yeah,
and another book is 6.5. That is massive, because that is the difference
that's
between
50% difference for sure. Like
two threes
50%.
and two threes plus another bucket, or three twos and then one other basket. Like that is a massive difference. So that's
For
why
example,
like the show could easily be just 5 minutes. Here's your picks. See ya. Have fun betting them. But that's why we also take time as well to be transparent, ensure that we all can get the price at the time it's given out, and also we want you guys to understand why betting. So Pips takes his time to discuss these things. We do it after the picks are given out now, so he has time to go through them all, so you understand the process that goes into the plays and why the price is important to that. Price sensitivity is absolutely everything. So we're happy that you guys can see the value in that, and we're happy to have Pips as well to provide the picks like that. But let's move into some of our discussion pieces now. We appreciate the support, by the way. Some really nice comments coming in. We appreciate the support, everybody. Let's talk about the officials in the league. So this week has not been a very good look for the NBA as it comes to its officials. We've seen, well, if you've been following the Raptors, they had a pretty rough game on Tuesday. I don't know if anybody, or sorry, it was on Monday. The Raptors played the Nuggets on Monday. Scott Foster takeover game. I'm not sure if anybody saw the highlights from that or saw what happened in that, but Scotty Barnes, I mean, there was a whole calamity of errors from the officials leading up to this, but Scotty Barnes was ejected for essentially talking to himself. He basically kind of said to himself, "Y'all are cheating, man." Scott Foster heard it, gave Scotty Barnes a technical. By the way, he should not be a technical just for saying something like that, and also ejected him. It was his first technical, and he ejected him from the game. That technical made a 1-possession game a 2-possession game and pretty much dusted off the Raptors. Next day, Jordan Poole gives a bounce pass to the official. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jordan Poole literally passed the ball to the ref and got a technical. And yesterday, just because I was watching the Raptors up late, Fred VanVleet also got a technical because he was trying. So what Fred VanVleet did, it was a pretty rough third quarter for calls going against him. And Fred VanVleet told his team, didn't even say it to a ref. He said to his team, "We got to play through this, essentially. We have to play through the bad calls," paraphrasing, but that's what he said. And he gets a technical for this. Pips, this is something that you specifically wanted to talk about. What's your insight and your thoughts to the officiating?
so I've seen Fred VanVleet post game conference.
Yes, I encourage
And I was
anybody
like,
to go watch it.
I was like, yeah, that's it. Like I know you'll get like fined, like, but that needed to be said, and I think more players needs to come. Like I just loved it. Like I completely loved it. Someone needed to step up and say something about these crazy calls. I think the biggest guy that can like talk about complain about the refs is Jordan Poole. Like, okay, he
Yeah.
does some palming, he does some carrying, but that guy had the worst calls like throughout the entire season, getting technicals for nonsense, getting called for traveling, getting like he's getting killed by the refs, and they are calling it only on him. And other players do the same thing. They are not calling on him. I'll just say like I hate the refereeing in today's NBA. I am just not a huge fan of it. Like the thing, like let's protect the players. Okay, let's protect the players. Like we have the rule when landing spot, and that's a good improvement. That's the league going in the good direction. That's protecting the players. And when someone smashes the player in the head and there is blood, give them like a technical or like
Flagrant.
flagrant foul. Like, yeah, that's great. That's the thing we love. This season they stopped the transition take fouls. That's great refereeing. Like we are improving the game. But why are we calling some ultra soft calls, and why are the refs being like so sensitive, so egoistical, and I don't know find the words when like you throw the ball to him, like not even angry, like throwing, like just give them the ball, and they don't like the way you did it, and they can give you a technical that can change the game. Like, and they're calling some unbelievable stuff. So many games that like I watched the game like we had the money line on the Bucks in last like 2 days ago, 3 days ago,
Yeah.
I think it was, and they missed like three straight. Like Grayson Allen, like the cleanest travel ever. Like I've seen in the entire NBA, he scored three to give them 5+ lead. They missed it. I was like, how is this possible? Like, what's going on? Like, I think like, and then next possession, Giannis on the drive steps out of the bounds. No one saw it. Like he stepped on the line, over the line. Like, and it was not like some quick. He was like going by the baseline and step like full leg on the line, full foot, and no one saw it. And that's the change, the game completely. Like these two possessions, like, and no one is having like holding these refs accountable. Like that's, so you gave the win to another team by directly your mistake. Like there should be some fines. There should be some like something at least like
Accountability. Accountability.
accountability. Yeah, that's, and when they do like these crazy technicals and stuff, like they need to get like call them out, and like that's not, they need to like release a statement that that's not the way we should do it. Like that was a mistake. And it's interesting when like after the game they say like we made like 15 mistakes in the game, and the next game the same ref is refereeing like nothing happened. Like what's going on here? Like I think there is so many referees that are waiting to get their spot, their chance to ref an NBA game, and we have the same guys that are, we all know they are terrible refs, like
Scott
our,
Foster.
yeah, and Ben Taylor, and like we know like at least five refs in the league that are getting all the games and huge games that suck at their job, and they are not getting replaced, fined, anything. They make so many mistakes and they ref tomorrow next game. Like
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
and I feel like there are so many refs that are not even given the chance to ref in the game, and that's ridiculous. Like if you make so many mistakes, give them like one penalty. You make so many mistakes again. Second penalty, third penalty, you are out, and we can get another guy to in your place, and we need to like remain quality. Like that's it. We need
Yeah.
quality.
I'll quote something Fred VanVleet said here about the officials from the from his. I would recommend this through going through this tirade of a press conference that he went through. So here he says, "I like a lot of refs. They're trying hard. They're pretty fair. They communicate well. Then you have other ones who just want to be dicks and just kind of f up the game. No one's coming to see that shit. They come to see the players, and I think we're losing a little bit of the fabric of what the NBA is and was." and it's been a disappointing season. So I agree with all the things you're saying about mistakes. My problem is bigger than mistakes. I can acknowledge, like, if you miss a call because maybe your view is disrupted, or you just didn't see something, or sometimes you make human error. I get that. My bigger problem is with technicals like the Scotty Barnes one on Monday, Fred VanVleet yesterday, Jordan Poole the day before that, because those are conscious decisions from the refs to go against their standard protocol as an official there. Yeah, go ahead.
So that one when Fred VanVleet threw the ball to the under the rim,
oh yeah,
that was so soft, ultra soft. I couldn't believe everyone was like, even the opposing players were what happened, what's going on, why,
it's
so
a power
wild.
trip. It's a
Wasn't
power trip.
no,
That's
it was just this
yeah. So
unbelievable.
there's for the people listening, people watching, you haven't seen it. Fred VanVleet, after a foul called against OG at the rim. The ball landed in Fred's hands, and he just tossed it against the back stanchion that holds up the backboard. Just light little toss off of it, as you anybody would, and just picked up the ball again. Nothing, no slamming, no force, just little toss, and he got a technical for that. It's just a power trip. It's a power trip from the refs, and Scott Foster showed it on Monday, and Ben Taylor showed it yesterday, and it's just they know they can influence the game heavily, and they do. And for whatever reason, they're on that sort of power trip. But as you said, they'll just ref tomorrow night. It won't make a difference. Listen to this about Fred VanVleet. I pulled this stat up today. I don't know we talk about Ben Taylor specifically, but so this season, Fred VanVleet in 55 games has 8 technicals. Of those 55 games, Ben Taylor has officiated in 6, only 6. In those 6 games specifically, VanVleet has 5 technicals, 3 of them directly from Ben Taylor. So 5 out of 8 of his technicals occurred in 6 of the 55 games in which Ben Taylor was officiating, just those 6 games. So I always talk about for betting, coincidences happen, some weird trends happen. It's very hard for me to accept that that's just a mere coincidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they both hate each other.
yeah, clearly. Yeah. And Fred VanVleet wasn't afraid to pick up. He's probably going to get $35,000 in fines from Adam Silver at some point today. But
yeah, I think more players should do that. It's not 35,000 is a lot of money, but not for a guy that makes 30 millions a year. And when it's important for the quality of the game, someone needs to stand up and say something. And I hope more players do. I think so many people complain about no NBA regular season has no defense play. That's crazy. And also, but they have some good points. When you see a game 150, 155, 300 points in a game, obviously everyone say what's going on here? Why no one plays defense? Because the players are not allowed to play defense. Refs make so many stupid calls, so many soft calls that you are not allowed to play defense. At the level you will want to play defense and the level you can play defense. You get the 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes and you are done for the for the first half. No player wants to be in foul trouble and lose 50 minutes of the game. So everyone just takes a different approach and it's way easier to score for everyone. And last season, the year started with some more physicality allowed, and we saw the lowest scoring averages throughout the first 2 months of the season. Okay, they changed the ball, but I don't think that's it completely. And it was so interesting to see the games where defense is a bit allowed, and then they went back to the same refereeing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I think that.
Okay, I'm pulling up this from HDC. Says coaches, players, GMs lose their jobs over these sort of mistakes. Yes, that's applicable, but also Fred VanVleet's going to get fined for this. Fred VanVleet's going to get fined $35,000 likely for what he said yesterday. Is Ben Taylor going to get any punishment for giving a soft technical that changed the momentum of the game? No, he's probably going to ref in the next couple of days another game like nothing happened. So that's the problem I have. Yes, I think it's bad. It's a bad look for the league when Fred VanVleet does this. So he said in the interview, I know I'm going to get fined, but I'm going to take my fine. And if you're going to get fined, you may as well go all in like he did, right? There's no sense of holding back. You're already paying up the fine. But also, the NBA does nothing to change it. So players have no choice but to sound off like this. If you want the players to not complain about the officiating, do something that improves the overall quality of the officiating, which improves the quality of the on-court product for fans watching. Because that Monday game, the Nuggets-Raptors game, that was an excellent basketball game, completely ruined by Scott Foster in the last few minutes. And that's the frustrating. Even beyond just like, I'm upset because the Raptors lost. That game was ruined from a neutral fan perspective as well in the way that it ended. So that's what I really dislike about all of this. And yeah, the things you said, exactly what I said on Tuesday on my own YouTube channel. So yeah. We are going to talk about Kevin Durant today. We've gone quite a while, though. I think we should save the KD stuff for tomorrow. We'll have probably some more info about his injury. You okay with that? Yeah, because we've already gone 41 minutes here. So we'll save that for tomorrow. Sorry if you guys came looking for that, but hopefully we have some more information to his injury tomorrow. We could comment about the Suns for the rest of the season. But that will wrap up the show. Let's recap the picks that we have from today. 3 official picks in play, looking to bounce back from yesterday. First of all, Knicks at Kings, Mitchell Robinson over 17.5 points and rebounds, which is minus 110 at BetMGM. That one has moved at a lot of places, so get that one while you can. Rockets at Pacers, we're going with Buddy Hield, 3+ threes, Halliburton, 18+ points, and because of the change, we've added in Halliburton, 2+ threes, which makes this a minus 105 at BetMGM, a 3-leg same-game parlay here. And in the final play for today, Markkanen, 25+ points, Wagner, 15+ points, which is minus 110 at FanDuel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. Hopefully a lot of great information was shared. Apologies for the movement and apologies for the connection issues early, but we made it through 3 plays and a good discussion piece. We appreciate the support. We appreciate everybody understanding where we come from, where Pips is coming from with all these picks he's giving out. We very much value our viewers. We very much value transparency and being fair to you guys, and we're glad it is appreciated. If you guys are enjoying the content, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the Board YouTube channel to help us on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We'll be back tomorrow, as we always are, on weekday for Pick and Roll. We will see you there.